3 small boats just did something no American weapon has ever done before. No sailors on board. No pilot at the controls. Just machines, moving on their own, straight into an enemy naval base. And they hit their target. This was not a training exercise. This happened for real, on July 12, 2026, at Iran's Bandar Abbas naval base. We'll come back to what these boats actually hit, but by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how a company that did not even exist 4 years ago built the machine that just changed naval warfare forever. So what exactly are these boats, and how did they end up on the front line? Let's get into it. This is the story of the Corsair, a 24-foot autonomous surface vessel, built by a Texas company called Saronic. If you think stories like this deserve more attention, type anchor in the comments below. Let's start with the moment that made history. On that Sunday night, U.S. Central Command, known as CENTCOM, confirmed that 3 Corsair unmanned surface vessels struck a target inside Bandar Abbas naval base. This base sits right on the Strait of Hormuz, and it happens to be the headquarters of Iran's Navy. The boats went after a raised dock, one that was supporting a submarine and a ship maintenance facility. Video released by the Pentagon shows the 3 drones speeding across the water, closing in, and then striking the target directly. CENTCOM called it exactly what it was: the first time American forces have ever used sea drones in real combat. Here's something worth pausing on. These are called one-way attack vessels. That means once the mission starts, the boat is not coming back. It drives itself straight to the target and detonates on impact. No pilot, no remote joystick guiding every second, just a machine, given a target, and trusted to complete the mission on its own. Now let's talk about the boat itself, because the numbers here are impressive. The Corsair is 24 feet long. It can carry up to 1,000 pounds of payload. It has a range of over 1,000 nautical miles, and it can move at more than 35 knots, which is well over 40 miles per hour on the water. That is a serious amount of speed and payload packed into a boat that does not need a single crew member on board. It also helps to compare this boat to something already proven in real war. Out in the Black Sea, Ukraine has been using its own small sea drones called the Magura series to strike Russian ships again and again, often sinking vessels far larger and more expensive than the drone itself. The Corsair is built along that same idea: small, fast, cheap to produce compared to a full-sized warship, and able to strike without risking a single life. Seeing that strategy work overseas is part of what pushed the U.S. Navy to move so quickly on its own version. We'll come back to why that detail matters so much. But first, let's talk about the company behind it, because this part of the story might surprise you even more than the strike itself. Saronic was founded in 2022. That means this company is younger than some phones people are still using today. And yet, in December of 2025, the U.S. Navy handed them a production contract worth $392 million. Almost $200 million of that was released immediately. According to the Secretary of the Navy, the company went from prototype to full production in under 12 months. For comparison, traditional Navy shipbuilding programs often take years, sometimes over a decade, before a single ship is ready. Saronic did it in about 1 year. That kind of speed did not happen by accident. Just before the contract was announced, Saronic committed $300 million of its own money to expand a shipyard in Franklin, Louisiana. That expansion is expected to create around 1,500 new jobs. And it lets the company build boats at a pace no traditional shipyard can match. Investors have taken notice too. The company has since been valued at over $9 billion, an incredible number for a business that is only a few years old. Before we go further, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It really does help this channel keep bringing you stories about the technology quietly reshaping our military. So why does the Navy want boats like this so badly? The answer connects to a strategy shift that has been building for years. The U.S. military has been racing to build a fleet of unmanned vessels, largely as a lower-cost alternative to full-sized manned ships. Part of the reason is growing concern over China's Navy, which has expanded rapidly in size in the Pacific. Boats like the Corsair are cheaper to build, faster to produce, and most importantly, they keep American sailors out of direct danger during high-risk missions. And this was not even the Corsair's first appearance in the region. Just 1 month before the strike, a Corsair operated by the Navy's Task Force 59 helped rescue 2 soldiers after their Army Apache helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. That mission showed the boat could operate in real-world conditions. This latest strike showed it could fight in them too. This also tells us something important about how the military is evolving. The unit behind these boats, Task Force 59, was originally built just to test unmanned systems for surveillance. Simple observation work. Now, that same unit is being trusted with offensive combat missions. That is a massive shift in responsibility, and it did not happen by accident. It happened because these systems proved, mission after mission, that they could be trusted to perform. This is also exactly the kind of moment worth appreciating as citizens. Because behind every one of these missions are real service members, in Task Force 59 and across the 5th Fleet, working to keep sailors safe while still getting the mission done. Choosing a machine to take the risk instead of a person, that is smart strategy, and it deserves real respect. Let's bring it back to where we started. Those 3 small boats that hit Bandar Abbas were not just machines completing a task. They represented a turning point. The moment autonomous vessels stopped being test projects and officially became combat-proven weapons. And behind that moment was a young company, a fast government contract, and a Navy willing to move quickly instead of waiting years for traditional shipbuilding. Conclusion. So the next time you hear about tension in the Strait of Hormuz, remember this. Somewhere out on that water, there may already be a boat with no one on board, quietly protecting the people who serve, exactly the way it was built to do. If stories like this matter to you, hit like on this video and subscribe so you catch the next one before anyone else does.